What's up, guys? This is Oliver here with Zen Crypto, and today we're going to dive into the news, take a look at what's going on with Elon Musk and Twitter. Also, the looks rare versus OpenSea battle heats up, and we're going to look at the charts because that's what's exciting me most today, all the movement in the charts that is about to happen. So let's jump right in. All right, so let's kick off with the charts because I see a lot of movement happening here. You see here, guys, Bitcoin tapped the 200-day moving average. People are now wondering why Bitcoin's pulling back and dropping, and there's all sorts of theories, but really, just plain as day, it's just a technical movement here. Bitcoin hasn't tested the 200-day moving average since back in late December, early January. So this is about 3 full months of underneath the 200-day moving average, and now it's the first attempt back up and over. So you can see here, we've dropped back from the 200 on the nice Fibonacci that I dropped at the 23%. And now Bitcoin is deciding whether or not it's going to run up and test again, or if it's going to slide a bit lower down now towards the 43,000 support range. The chart that I'm really loving, you guys, is the Ethereum against the Bitcoin chart. You can see here on the weekly. So each candle here is 1 week, and this formation of this epic cup and handle goes all the way back here to June of 2018. Wow, 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 wow. So you see this big drop and this epic cup forming here. And then now we have the handle. We had the attempted break above the 8 million Satoshi line. And now we're back down here and we're running up to test again in the coming weeks. So it's a bit slower movement here, as you can see on the weekly candles. But this chart is something to keep your eyes on for sure. In the immediate term, it looks like it might cool off a bit. But yeah, with the merge happening here soon, Ethereum is the chart to watch. Now let's take a look at Solana and see what's going on. Solana had an incredible run. If you follow me on Twitter, I called this falling wedge and double golden zone retracement space for the Solana token. We had this beautiful break, and it ran from the break about 60%, just under 60%, and is now cooling off a bit. You can see here on the Solana Bitcoin chart, we actually tapped the 200-day moving average perfectly. So Solana, I think, is still a great token to watch. I'm looking for a re-entry point after that trade I took. With the OpenSea integration now confirmed of the Solana NFT marketplace that is going to be rolling out here in April, I expect big things for Solana, and looking good, looking good. Now let's go take a look at Luna. Luna just doesn't quit. You look at the weekly chart, man, it's just as going up, 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 up only from down here from $5. It's really just gone bananas all the way now at 117 with no sign of stopping in sight. So loving my Luna at the moment, having so much fun with it, and staking, earning about 20 to 30% just holding the native token, and life is good with Luna. SHIB, this is one that I would normally never trade or have any interest in. We all have our own bias about meme coins, but this popped up on my radar a few days ago, and like I said, it's not something I normally look at, but they have quite a bit of news coming out with their metaverse, their Shibarium, I think it's called, and seems like it could be a good play. On the 12-hour, you can see here a nice, not perfect, but you see an inverted head and shoulders. So shoulder, here's the head. We had a fake out, and then now we're coming here to attempt again and make a run towards the 200-day moving average up and beyond. I think SHIB is going to do well here in the coming weeks, and I've got my eyes on that one. Now let's jump over and take a look at Looks Rare. Looks Rare has done me very well. I doubled my position down here in the $1.30, $1.40 range. You can see my beautiful magnet here pulling the price up toward my support resistance line of $3.14. We didn't quite get there. We nailed the top of $2.94, as you can see there. And now I have my Fibonacci placed from the bottom to the top, and I'm looking for a new entry point. So the 50 would be my first target around $1.92, down to the 50-day moving average into the golden pocket of about $1.50 would be a good re-entry point. I personally believe in Looks Rare. I think they're doing all the right things to make their market big and more accessible for the users. Lots of people have frustrations with OpenSea, myself being one of them. I don't personally know how they're going to integrate Solana without a massive upgrade to their network and infrastructure because of their downtime, so much downtime. But let's jump on over and take a look at Looks Rare real fast. This Dune Analytics is comparing Looks Rare to OpenSea, and this filter has removed the wash trading. So what a lot of big users do on Looks Rare is they wash trade to accumulate rewards, and it spoofs the volume. But if we pull that out and look at what's really going on here, you can see back about the beginning of March. It's a bit difficult to see, but the green bars here is Looks Rare, and you can see the average daily volume on Looks Rare when it first kicked off was quite high, but then it's dropped down to about 1.5 million on average, 1 million, 1 million, 1.5. But then in the beginning of March, things really started to kick off. And now you see it's getting like 10 million, 15 million, 14 million, 6 million. Meanwhile, the OpenSea volume has been relatively flat in this time. So Looks Rare has really jumped, and OpenSea has more or less stayed flat in my perspective. So I'm enjoying seeing Looks Rare gain some traction. You can see here, this is the market share, and the market share has been below 3 and 4%. And then recently, as I said in March, this looks to be about March 11th, it broke the 4% barrier, and now the market share of Looks Rare is actually standing up against OpenSea, which I love to see. So that's really cool. Keeping my eyes on that. I'm staking Looks Rare, full disclosure, and loving my passive yield. I'm keeping my ETH and selling that off every month and paying a big chunk of my expenses, which is great. Really, really loving the platform and beginning to use it myself. The number one thing I like to do with Looks Rare is to use it for collection offers. So I can find hot NFT collections and just undercut the floor by like 20-25%. Sometimes I get lucky and I can just flip it right over again and make a fast 20% profit, just like that. Yep, so that's the news with Looks Rare. OpenSea, its main competitor, of course, is launching the NFTs for Solana in April. So be curious to see how that plays out. Let's move on over to the Bitcoin talk, right? So what's going on with Bitcoin? You see here, the exchange outflow is hitting record numbers, the numbers that haven't been seen since back in March of 2020, which we all know is right after Trump closed the border. Everything crashed, and then boom, the market kicked off. We're reaching the same level of outflows now as we saw then. So what that means is there's a lot of investor confidence in the market. They're taking their Bitcoin off of exchanges where you could quickly swap them for something else and putting them more into cold storage and offline wallets. So they have at least a medium to long-term vision to hold the coins, expecting the price to go up. And the whales tend to know what they're doing. So that is something I am also looking forward to and keeping a close eye on. On to the news of the day, and that is Elon Musk taking a 9.2% stake in Twitter. I'm not going to go into the Dogecoin rally. It seems anytime Elon has any tweet about anything crypto related, Dogecoin responds one way or another. That's not what I find important here. If you're a Dogecoin fan, then good on you. But what I'm mostly interested here is Elon's stance on freedom of speech. He did a poll back here on March 25th that says free speech is essential to a functioning democracy. Do you believe Twitter rigorously adheres to this principle? And you can see here the vast majority of 2 million people clearly say no. Now, we've seen a rise in this censorship in the recent years, really since the pandemic, in my perspective. It's been happening before then, but really since the pandemic, there's been this explosion of censorship, and basically anyone who has any form of opinion that goes against the mainstream narrative is immediately branded conspiracy theorist, is immediately silenced and shut down and canceled, even to the point of being deplatformed, as we've seen in the case of many doctors and qualified professionals. They're just completely taken down, and Twitter was a big culprit behind this censorship. So my personal take is Elon is here to take the reins of Twitter on some level and use his 9.2% share to drive more influence into the company, hopefully in the direction of freedom of speech. He's always been quite outspoken for freedom of speech. So I think this is actually a really good thing. And, we love Elon in the crypto space, and being into crypto at its core and philosophy is about decentralization. It's about censorship free, right? So it really goes into the narrative of crypto as a whole. And I think it's just a really, really good thing. And in the last bit of news, the Gotchiverse is now live. On the 31st of March, they launched their metaverse called the Gotchiverse. And it's just really cool. It's the next level, really. It's next level stuff. One thing that I'm really loving right now is what's called the Gotchi lending. So, with Axie, there's the scholarship program, and it required a level of trust to lend your assets to your scholar. But with the Gotchi lending, everything is done on chain. It's a bit slow right now because I'm streaming, but you can see here, you can have players, you can rent different ghosts, which is loading, all the different stats. You can see the price that it costs to rent. So if somebody wants to rent this little Rasta ghost, you can rent him for 8 hours, and it will cost you 0.21 ghost, which is like 45 cents. And you get to keep 75% of whatever you harvest. And the owner of this Juicino gets the 25%. So I'll show you how this looks, and it's really cool. You can see here in this wallet I have 8 ghosts. It's just loading. Give it a second because, like I said, I'm a bit slow with the streaming going on. And while that loads, I'll show you. So it's a great passive income source. Right now, it's the alpha launch. It's just one district of the metaverse, and you run around and you collect what's called alchemica. It's the resources of the game. And you can see here 11 minutes ago, this person harvested 1.25 CAC, 7.25 FUD, 2 FOMO, 2 alpha. And then before that, 30 minutes ago was 15.21. So CAC is the rarest one, and right now it's worth about 87 cents per token. So on average, I'm earning about $2 to $3 per hour passively, which is great. Yeah, here's all my guys. You can see them. Got all the different names. And then there's the different lending terms. Like I got Mugatu here, and his terms expired. You can see my guy collected 1 of these, 3 of these I can claim. But what's really cool is I love the opportunity it's giving for people in developing nations. I'm working with a lot of Filipinos right now, and for them, they're earning anywhere between $10 and $20 per day, which is 2 to 3 times more than an average day laborer would earn. And they're having fun. They're making so much money. It's an easier job for them than construction or hard labor, and it just feels really good. I've gotten some really good feedback on these people. This amazing opportunity that they have to buy presents for their mother, or to fund their schooling, all sorts of things. And it's just a really good way to spread wealth across the world in a way that's it's just really fun and healthy, and I love it. So that's it, guys. That's the video for today. That's all the news. That's the charts. Exciting times ahead for Bitcoin. Let's just pop back over one last time and take a look at the chart. We see here Bitcoin is, with its supply shock imminent, exchange flows out of the Bitcoin, trading under the 200-day moving average. We have chance for fireworks here in the coming days and weeks, and hopefully it's up only from here. If you guys like the channel, do like, comment, and subscribe. We'd love to hear your thoughts about anything. If you want to learn more, let me know. Again, my name is Oliver Spoon here with Zen Crypto, and I will see you on the next video.